Welcome back to another episode of Hello? Can I talk?
No.
Welcome back to another episode of Social Butterfly. I am Bri, your host, and I have my second ever guest on Social Butterfly. Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Do you want to tell the people who you are? We're not doing video this time because we just don't have the means, but we're just doing audio. So you want to tell people who you are?
Yes, I have a face for radio, as they say. That's why we're having no video.
Please. No, that's not why.
No, I am Madee, and I have been friends with Bri since college.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years,
Yeah.
which is crazy to say. This is my first time on a pod.
Is this your first time being interviewed for anything?
Other than a job? Yes.
Like broadcast-wise?
Yeah. Apparently I've never been on live television.
Well, and we're doing this with no video too because we are in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
We took a road trip today, actually. So we might be a little delirious because we spent the better half of a day in a car with us and Maddie's husband, John, and our 2 dogs who are currently laying in this bed with us at our Airbnb. But we came to West Virginia to visit Alec, and I just didn't want to pack my video stuff with me, but I did pack a microphone and my laptop. So we were able to do it.
Amazing.
And I sprung this on Maddie like 2 days ago.
You did give me a heads up.
I did. I gave you a couple days. And we were going to do it in the car.
Yeah.
But it was really loud. So it probably wouldn't have worked. It was a little chaotic in the car. So this is better that we're just sitting and doing it now.
Yeah.
But we've got a couple Yinglings with us. Have you ever had this before?
No, not until today.
I knew, I think it's other places other than here. But I don't think it's very big in, Iowa or Nebraska. But it's good.
It is good. I like it.
So we've got a couple Yinglings, and we're really, chilling. I feel like that's kind of been the vibe of my last couple podcast episodes. We've been very cozy.
Yeah.
Very chill. And we have a cozy.
We do have a cozy
with
here.
us. So should we talk really quick about how we met?
Yeah. You might have to tell the story, though, because we talk about this.
I know.
And I'm like, I do not remember the specifics around when we met.
And I feel like the time that I remember meeting you, I actually met you before that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I remember meeting you. It was after Alec and I had gone on our first date. And I came over to your guys' dorm. It was at the very end of the school year, freshman year.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with him, and you girls stopped by. And I think I was introduced to you, but you guys didn't stay for very long, so I didn't.
It was an in passing, hi, bye.
And I remember I was a little nervous because in the experience I had before with meeting girls who hung out with guys I knew, those girls weren't very nice. And so in meeting you guys, I think I was kind of I wonder if they're gonna like me at all. I kind of had a.
And also, John is my husband, and Alec, Bri's husband, were roommates in college. They were random roommates freshman year, but then proceeded to live with each other every
All 4 years
thereafter.
That's crazy.
So we met essentially through them because we had the same friend groups with them.
Well, you were friends with Alec first.
Yeah.
You technically knew him first.
Yes, I technically knew Alec before you, and Alec introduced us to each other. And then he was like, well, I feel like you guys are the ones that just drag me along now.
Oh, what, me and Alec? Or me and you drag him along?
Right.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's accurate. Yeah. No, because I feel like we quickly became friends. Once we all started hanging out sophomore year of college, we got pretty close, pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
And then you and John kind of started dating, and so then the 4 of us got
Yeah.
really close.
Yes. And we just had a lot of like the same friend group, I feel like we hung out with a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
And I mean, we would meet each other's friends and become friends with each other's friends.
Or we
really
might have
easily.
already known each other's friends and then like saw them with each other. We're like, wait, you know her?
Yeah.
I know her.
Yes.
So it all kind of like melded together.
And we're very fitting. If we had video, you'd be able to see, but we're both wearing Iowa State. So Iowa State
go
is where
Clones,
it's
we
at.
won today. The men won.
The men won.
The women lost, but the men won. Yeah, Iowa State formed the friendship.
Yeah.
But then obviously it carried on because then you were a bridesmaid in my wedding.
Correct.
I was a bridesmaid in your wedding.
Mm-hmm. And John and I got married like, I don't know,
a year.
8 months? No.
Yeah, not quite a full year. No,
No.
because you got married in June. So like 9 months after us.
9 months after you guys, yeah.
Yeah. But we always joke that, so Madee and Alec are very similar. Like, scarily so. Like, you're the same person.
Yes, I
Pretty
joked
much.
that if I was of the male gender, I would literally be Alec.
No, truly. Truly. And so we joke that, like, if I hadn't asked Madee to be my bridesmaid, she would have been on the other side. So I had to, like, jump on that. But then John was Alec's best man.
Yeah.
Alec was one of John's groomsmen. Like,
You were one
it's
of my
just-
bridesmaids.
Yes, it's just,
Yeah.
like, continued to evolve. And
And here we are.
here we are, 10 years later.
In West
Out
Virginia.
in West Virginia.
Who would have thought?
What the fuck? Oh, we can swear on here, by the way. I don't know if I told you that.
I love it here.
But we can swear here. So yeah, that's how we know each other.
Yeah.
What else? You live in Iowa still.
Yes, I grew up in
I say
Iowa.
still as if I don't live in Nebraska, but
I grew up in Iowa and have stayed there. Yes, John and I currently live there with our dog, who is named Cozy, who is here with us.
in the
As
bed
well.
currently as we speak.
As
So
we
is Remy, and they're both zonked. I just looked at them; both of their eyes are closed.
Long day.
They had a long day.
in a small space.
And they're both labs.
Yes.
So if they were any bigger, it would not have worked.
No.
No. But they did great. They both did great given the circumstance. This is the longest Cozy has ever gone in a
In a car.
car.
CR.
Remy's done this drive quite a few times now. I
Yeah.
think like 4 or 5 times. You're fine.
Yeah, and we were talking about it on the way out here that we think the longest that Cozy had been riding in a vehicle before was to visit you in Lincoln.
Yeah,
So
was
that would have
for
been
Ellen
like-
Jackson
Yeah,
when you brought her, because you had her in Staley,
right.
right? Yeah.
And so
When
that
Staley
was
was a
like,
puppy.
how long is Lincoln to our place?
4.5.
Like 4.5 hours. So,
So this
over
is-
double.
Yes, way over double. It was 11 hours today, and they were both champs.
We left at 6 a.m. And we got here
6:30
6:30. Yeah.
Eastern time.
Right.
5:30.
Fuck time zones.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I'm
this
here to
has
say.
been really hard. Listen, we have our other part of our trio, Emily.
Yeah.
Because truly, we are a, what's it called? Like a sextet? Is that what 6 is?
That is the correct
Right?
term.
Because
Yes.
it's me and Alec, you and John and Emily and Ian.
Yep.
And so Emily, they live in Arizona, and those fuckers don't do daylight saving time. So we never know. We're in a book club all together, a virtual book club. We never know what time it is. I literally have a tab open constantly. That's what time is it in Arizona right now?
I was just gonna say, like, please don't look at my Safari search history because there's a lot of Arizona current time.
Because I never know. And you always mess it up.
Always.
Every single time. But anyway, hi Emily, if you're listening.
If you're here listening,
Hey.
hey girl, hey.
I want to talk a little bit about our friendship though. Because I feel like we have a little bit of a unique friendship in the fact that we are very similar. But there are also a lot of things about us that are like super different too.
Yeah.
But let's talk about similar things first. 'Cause
Okay.
That's more fun. Not that the opposite things are bad, but like
Right.
there's a
It's
lot
easier to talk
more
about.
that are similar,
Yeah.
I feel like. But like we both are very into, this is something I talked about in like maybe my third episode. I don't remember. I don't know. Personality types.
Yes.
Zodiac signs. Enneagrams. What else am I missing? I talked about Myers-Briggs, but it's been a long time since I've taken that, so I don't remember what I actually am.
We talked about like the Clifton strengths.
No, I didn't talk about my Clifton strengths, but that's another thing too, because I've done them.
I feel like we've talked about those before.
I think we are. I think we have. Because mine are... Wait, I'm such a loser. They're in my email signature. Do you know yours off the top of your head?
My top 3, I think. My top 3 are empathy, harmony, and positivity.
I was so pissed because empathy was like my 6th. It wasn't in my top 5. And I was so mad because I'm like, that's my, like, what the heck?
I can't remember the other 2 in my top 5.
Okay, my top one.
Developer?
That's my second one.
Okay.
Prepare to be shocked. My first one is communication.
Very surprising.
Developer, woo is my third.
Oh, I forgot about woo. Mine was shockingly, I thought it'd be higher on my list.
Woo?
But I don't remember.
Not higher?
I don't remember what number it is, but it's like middle.
I think I only remember empathy being 6 because I was like, because they always say like your top 5 strengths, and so I was like pissed that it was 6th and not in my top 5. But yeah, it's communication, developer, woo, input, and positivity.
Okay, yeah.
Do I remember what all those mean? No, but I know woo is like the outgoing. Like whenever I talk to people about Clifton strengths, they're always like, "You have woo in there somewhere." I'm like, yes.
What's it to you? Yeah.
Yeah, and.
Yes, and?
I mean, I guess it's good that it's obvious, but I'm like, why do you make it sound like a bad thing? Do you remember the rest of your 5, or just your top 3?
I know the top developers in there somewhere, and I can't remember the other one.
That would make sense of positivity and developer, because I have both of those in my top 5 too.
Yeah, and I think I have input in my top 10 at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know my top 3, but I can't remember the order of them.
Some people just do top 3 and some people do top 5. I don't know if it's an education thing to do top 5. I'm not sure. I didn't really know about them until I came into my current job, and then I was like, oh.
Same. I didn't know the Clifton strengths until my current job. Yeah.
Maybe it's a corporate world thing. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do those in a newsroom.
No one gave a shit.
No. They could give a fuck what your top Clifton strengths were. Enneagram. We're both super into the Enneagram.
I love the Enneagram.
Are you a 9-wing 8 or 9-wing 1?
9-wing 1.
1. Okay.
Yes.
And I am do you know mine?
You're 2 for sure.
Well, yes, I'm a 2.
And then
2 on my wing.
Is it 4? No. Oh my god.
No, because that's not next to 2.
I was thinking. Oh wow.
Do I need to cut that?
Do you remember when we said we were delirious? Yeah.
Truly.
I was thinking 4 Eastern time, which is 3.
Right. Okay. Yep. That tracks. So you mean 3? 2-wing 3.
Oh my god.
Central time. No. So I'm a 2-wing 3. So you were right. You were right. I'm a 2-wing 3. But the funny thing is, though, guess what Alex's Enneagram is? A 9-wing 1. So him and Madee are the same.
So funny.
Now, do you still have CoStar?
Yes.
Do you still check it like regularly?
Not like super regularly, but every now and then I think it's fun.
Getting rid of it. I know you're a Leo.
I am.
An August Leo.
I am.
Which I don't really know the differences in Leos. Like I know the differences in like Geminis.
I don't know the
differences in Leos.
What's
like
the difference?
Emily is a July Leo, you're an August Leo.
I was just gonna say, what's the difference between me and Emily?
I don't know. But I don't know your moon. Are you a Libra rising too?
No. Virgo rising.
Yeah, you have a lot of Earth in your chart, don't you?
Taurus moon.
Oh yes.
Leo.
Okay, so literally
Sun?
2 of your big 3 are Earth signs.
Yes.
And then do you know mine?
Yours still pops up on my
Oh, does it really?
So, Aquarius moon, Libra rising.
Capricorn sun. And we're both, like, pretty interested in that, too. Or, like, feel that it kind of makes sense. Although, I don't feel like my sun sign... Well, you don't feel like your sun sign makes a lot of sense either, though.
I am definitely more of, like,
Taurus,
the earth
Virgo.
signs than a Leo, I feel like.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And I don't think I'm that much of a Capricorn.
I'm trying to remember, like, what the stereotypes of a Capricorn are, and I can't remember.
Like, really cold.
Oh.
And unfeeling.
Interesting.
And money motivated.
Interesting.
Which, personally, I wouldn't use to describe me, but I guess...
Right. I wouldn't either.
I was going to say, would you?
No.
As a other outside source, would you? But, like, I feel like I identify with my Libra rising a lot more.
Yes, I could see that. My mom is a Libra.
Sue, my queen.
And she's just a queenie.
She really is.
And so, but yes, I feel like a lot of her personality traits are how you show up in the world.
Yeah, that's what your rising is, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe.
I don't know. I never remember what the sun and rising, if it's like what you present to people versus like your actual personality.
I think CoStar will tell me.
We could check. Please hold.
I forgot where we left off.
Okay, we just looked it up. And so your sun is like your ego. Mm-hmm. Your ego, identity, and quote-unquote role in life. It's the core of who you are. I don't know. Maybe I just don't see it for myself. But then your moon is supposed to be like your soul, and that's like how you view yourself. And it's like your emotions, your moods. And that makes sense to me as to what mine is. And yours makes a lot of sense to you.
Yes.
And then your rising is the quote-unquote mask that you present to people, which I don't like that word, but I guess it makes sense. Personal style, how you come off to people when you first meet.
Yes, it's like the first impression people get of you.
Which I guess I get. Like you said, that's where my woo comes in. Because I think right from the jump, I'm not, well, normally I'm not like getting into like the deep Aquarius conversations with people right when I meet them. Usually.
Yes.
Usually. I try not to. I'm working on it. No one likes an overshare. Actually, that's not true. I love an overshare, but some people don't like that. So I'm working on that anyway. But like I get that, like how it presents to other people.
Agreed.
But the Capricorn being like my ego and identity is,
I know.
But maybe there's something deeper there. Maybe I should examine that. Anyway. But as you can see, we're into personality types and like analyzing that stuff. Like we both really like that.
Yeah.
And I also feel like we both are able to have like really honest conversations with each other.
For sure.
Like even if we think differently about something that we're talking about, like we just talk about it. You know?
Yes.
And I mean, part of that's just because like we're best friends and like that's what people do, but also we're both very empathetic. And it's like easy for us to see someone else's point of view. I think it's easier for you than it is for me sometimes. Which is weird to say because like I think I'm a very empathetic person, but I think
But you're still very like strong-willed in your
I have a lot of opinions.
Yeah. Whereas
which isn't a bad thing, but
I was gonna say I am definitely someone who I like taking in like all like perspectives and points of view, so I have a harder time like coming to like a true like this is my stance on something.
But I could like call you and just like bitch and bitch and bitch about something and you're like
For sure.
Exactly. Go on. But I don't feel like you're just saying that to like but you're not doing it to just to placate me. Or whatever.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you're not just being like a yes man. Like you truly are like, yeah, I totally agree with you and understand where you're coming from.
I want to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think we both are people who seek to understand.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously things I have an opinion on.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yes.
I just think you're.
I am not an oversharer, so I don't feel like I need to tell people my opinion on a lot of things.
I'm working on it. Okay. In my defense, I have gotten better.
Bring me out of my shell.
And you've helped me get better about like, maybe I don't need to tell everyone that. Especially in terms of like social media, of like going off and sharing things.
Going
She says. Well, yes.
Going off.
Well,
I mean, I don't
think I've ever actually gone off on anybody.
think you, like, rant like that.
No. But I think I also used to share my opinion way, way, way more than I do now.
But, I mean, obviously, like, you worked in the news for a while.
Well, and I think that was part of it, like, because once I got out, I'm like, oh my god, I can tell people what I think about things now.
Yeah.
Because before I couldn't at all.
You had to be neutral.
Right. Because that's just part of being a journalist. Even if I have my own opinions, I wouldn't want someone to, like, look at my social media and be like, oh, well, she's reporting this, but she thinks this way. Like,
yeah,
I didn't want that.
Berated.
Right. And so I think I kind of, well, and it was also like the perfect storm of I got out of the news and then 2020 happened. And so then it was like everything on a platter of like, tell me what you think about this.
Oof.
And boy, did I. Also came to realize that like, and I think you kind of helped me realize this too, is like, it's not doing any good. Well, not that it's not doing any good. It's not making me feel better.
Yeah. And not that it's not doing good. It's just, obviously, I am not someone who has, like, a platform that would influence others.
Like I do.
I mean,
I think I do, and I'm just out here
out there in our audience
posting.
today.
I'm out here shit posting into the void. Like, to be so honest with you, like 90% of the shit I post on social media is truly for myself.
Yeah, which I love.
It's my social media, but I feel like you're almost a good placebo, because it's like, not a placebo. That's not the word I want to use, but like, I can call you and like rant about shit, and then I don't feel the need to like share it on social media. You know what I mean?
That's funny, actually.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
That you felt that way, so that's funny.
I do. Because, I mean, it helps to just tell it to somebody who you know is just going to, like, listen.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're back. I accidentally unplugged my microphone because I was trying to pull it out from under me. She keeps scooting closer to the computer.
She wants to be involved, as she should.
You know what? She does. The last episode, she was literally laying next to me on the chair the whole time. So,
I'm here to advocate for more places being open to bringing your dog.
I agree. Oh, I did want to kind of ask you, what did you think when I told you guys I was starting a podcast?
I don't think I was super surprised, I guess. Mm-hmm. I was more so like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like, sweet. Can't wait to see what...
Great. Do it.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what comes from that. I know you talked about in your episode with Alec, and maybe the one before that too, how it's more of like a creative outlet, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I love listening to podcasts.
Me too. And I feel like that is kind of what made me want to do it.
Yeah.
Or like not want to do it, but like finally push myself to do it.
Yeah.
Is because I've been on such a podcast kick, and I have so many podcasts that I like to listen to. And I've been, like, wanting to do it for so long. Like, I was looking when I was, like, going to actually, like, make the real, like, cover art and stuff. I had, like, a mock-up of something from 2021 sitting in Canva. For, like, a podcast.
Oh,
it had a different name, but...
Ooh, what was the old name? Spill.
I think it was just, like, there's a lot to talk about. But then when I was thinking about it, I'm like, that's long. So I changed it to Social Butterfly.
Strategy.
Yeah. There is a game that we both like called... What's it called?
Self-love?
No.
Oh,
What's the
oh my god. Duh.
Hello?
We're not really strangers.
Yes. And there's different... So, like, there's the basic game. I talked about it in my last episode. But there's, like, the regular set. And it's, like, a game that's a loose term. Like a game. There's like, it's just cards that you draw. But there's the regular set, there's like a couples set, and then I'm sure there's other ones too, but then there's the self-love set that I got not too long ago. And we brought that on our road trip because, as Madee and I said, we both enjoy a deep conversation. And we thought it'd be kind of fun to draw a card from each level, and we would both answer it.
Okay. Let's see what we get.
All right, let's go level 1 first. That's a challenge card. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Level 1. Level 1 is labeled like the past. So level 1, how have you been asked to change? You have an answer?
I think so.
Go for it.
Well, we talked at the start about how empathy is one of my kind of like top personality traits. And with that, I have realized that sometimes I'm not super direct with communication. So in my job, especially, something that I have gotten feedback on and try and work on more is being direct in my communication. And that's something I'm still still working on. But yeah, I think that's something that I guess comes to mind right away.
Yeah. It's a good, like, concise answer. That was communicated very well.
That was direct communication
it was.
in action.
It was, yeah. Way to
Look
put
at
that
me
into
go.
practice. How have I been asked to change? I don't know. I feel like it's the oversharing. And I don't think anyone has ever expressly told me, like, hey, shut up. But, like...
I laugh because I find that funny. No one's ever told me to just like shut up.
Well, okay, let's be real. People have. But, like, not in that sense. But I also feel like I'm painfully good at picking up on people's, like, you know, body language and cues. And so, like, I can tell when someone's like, oh my God, shut up.
Oh my God, please stop.
And so, like, I feel like maybe I haven't been expressly asked to change that. You know what I mean? But, like, it's something that I've noticed that
you
people
know.
would prefer I changed.
That you picked up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
Does it?
For sure.
Okay, great. Moving on. Do you want to draw from number 2?
Okay, let's try.
I think 2 is the present. It goes like past, present, future.
It sure is.
like-
Present. Oh no.
What does it say?
Isn't this a...
Oh, reminder, tell yourself the truth. No.
Ugh.
I'd rather live in a state of delusion. What do you
Leave
mean?
me alone.
Lie to yourself no matter what. Just kidding, don't do that.
In what ways do you enjoy taking care of yourself?
Oh, that's a good one.
I like this one,
self-care.
too.
You know, a couple weekends ago, it was one of the weekends that Alec wasn't home. I booked for myself a massage
Ooh,
and
nice.
an eyelash lift and tint.
Wait, you already did that, or
Yeah.
do you feel
It's
like
been a
you
few
can
it's been a few
tell
weeks. So
difference?
she said that it's not going to last as long as it normally would the first time around because it's my first time doing it. But the first like few weeks I definitely did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Plus I like low-key kind of
Interesting.
made friends with my esthetician, so that was fun. Like
So
she was
how
like, we
often
should go
do you
get a
have to
margarita together. I'm like, oh my God, okay.
I'm so down.
Woo in practice. But I think I'll probably go back in like a couple weeks.
Okay,
Get
well, I
it
can't
redone.
wait to hear more updates on how that's
Yeah.
going. Because I feel like I can't tell the difference right now, but I also haven't seen you in a
No,
while.
well, they've
and-
straightened out for sure. I
Okay.
think they're still tinted.
Yeah.
But like my eyelashes are so stick straight, that's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a perm, right? Like it takes a while for it to
I've been scarred. by
trauma.
the perm
No,
life.
same. But like you know what I mean? It like takes a while for it to like take. She was
stay.
upfront with me and telling me that like, hey, this isn't gonna stay as long, but the more you do it, the longer it'll stay.
Nice.
So
Ooh, that's exciting.
yeah, but just like a little self-care day.
Yeah. Love. You know what's crazy though?
What?
I've never gotten a massage.
What?
Never.
Maddie.
I'm like
Does it weird you out?
I'm ticklish to the max.
Oh, even on your back?
Yes.
Oh.
So I'm scared that I'm gonna be the freak who's like sitting there like laughing the entire time, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, get the fuck out."
I mean, you can always tell them to like avoid your neck area.
I feel like that's where like I need it the most. You know what I mean?
Oh, same.
I feel like
I carry all my tension in my neck and shoulders.
it's all right there.
We're anxious girlies. It's all right there.
It is. So I don't know. I have been trying to talk myself into it because I know it would be so great.
You
But-
can always just book like a half-hour one to start.
Yeah, and like I'm definitely not the only person who's gotten a massage that's ticklish.
No.
Right?
No, definitely not. And you
they
can
know
like
what
tell
they're
them
signing
that.
up for. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. Stay tuned.
You should. It's the best. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Okay, good
I've
to
been
know.
getting them like once a month lately, and I'm thrilled with that decision for myself. I'm not mad about it at all.
That's excellent.
It just feels good. Go home and take a nap after.
Yeah.
All right, level 3. What are you not willing to settle for? I feel like we immediately think this applies to relationships, but I feel like for us it doesn't. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm trying to.
So we have to think of other facets of our life.
I know. What
that-
am I not willing to settle for?
I think I don't know if this like makes sense, but like I'm not willing to settle for not putting myself out there anymore.
Love that.
I think because like lately, like I started this, I've been like posting like more TikToks and stuff. And it's not because I'm not trying to like be an influencer or anything, but it's like fun for me.
Right.
I mean, I like to do it, obviously.
It brings you joy.
Right. And for so long, I feel like I didn't do it because I was like, oh, people are going to think I'm trying to be an influencer and people are going to make fun of me and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, it makes me happy to make TikToks and to make videos. It's fun.
Then do it.
Right. So, like, I'm not going to settle for not doing what brings me joy.
Love that.
Thank you.
Wow,
What's yours?
I'm definitely not gonna have that good of an answer. My mind is literally going to like, I'm not willing to settle for only having one dog for the rest of my life.
Hey.
I want like 5.
That's a great one.
I'm thinking more like 5.
Alec and I were literally you probably heard. I was like, what if we get a second dog before we have a kid? He's like, I don't know.
You almost did.
I'm like, oh, no, we came real close. I'm like, but what if?
Our house, John and I's house, is too damn small.
For what, a second dog or a kid? Yes.
Maybe both. Second dog for sure.
Yeah. It gets a little crazy when both Cozy and Remy are there.
Right.
That's also because they're just a little chaotic.
They have lots of energy, which
They
I
do.
love.
Well, right, they're labs. It's to be expected. But.
Yes. I grew up with labs. I've always had labs in my family, so I'm used to that.
You know what's funny is I didn't.
And I love it.
I only had Molly.
Beagle.
Oh, the sweetest
What
princess.
a cutie.
So that's what you're not going to settle for, is only having one dog? Because I support
At least
that.
for, like, the rest of my life, you know what I mean? Like, at
Yeah.
some point in time, I will have more than one dog at one time.
Oh, same. Same, 100%. I think it's good for them.
I'm excited about that. You know what I'd love to have is, like, the, like, standard colors of
Labs.
Labrador Retrievers.
What's wrong with the unstandard colors?
Nothing, because I love them. But, like, I've always had the idea of, like, oh, one of every color.
Yeah.
Of, like, the
If I like it, I'll
yellow.
get it in another color.
Give me 14 of them.
If I... Do you want to know what's in it? No, don't tell me. Yeah, that would be fun.
Ooh, wait. I'm thinking of new segments of the episode. Our favorite, like, binge watching shows.
Gilmore Girls.
Classic. Never goes out of style.
No. And I learn something new every time.
It's so good.
But you have to, like, strategically time when you rewatch. Like, you can't back-to-back rewatch.
It's a fall show.
You start it in the fall.
You start in the fall.
And then if you're like me, you get to season 7 in February and you hate season 7, so you just put it off finishing it because
All of your misery
sucks. But
happens in February, the most miserable month of the year. Sorry, John's birthday's in February.
What's that Taylor Swift line? All my Mondays are mornings stuck in an endless February.
Something like that.
Real. Knowing me, that's probably
We
exactly what it is.
Also went to the Eras tour together.
Oh my god, how did we not talk about that?
Actually, let me rephrase. You took me.
Oh, please. We went to the Eras tour together.
Bri was in the trenches getting tickets.
Listen.
And I got really lucky
That was
to reap the benefits.
a whole chaotic process that was really stressful, honestly.
It was great.
It was so much fun.
And
what did
then-
you think when we FaceTimed you and we were like, hey?
Oh my gosh, I'm like putting myself in a hot seat right now because I really enjoy Taylor Swift's music.
Yeah.
I think she is a genius lyrically, but I am not someone who's like
A Swiftie.
searching for the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
But when you had FaceTimed me, you and Emily
Yeah.
FaceTimed me.
Well, because I had called her first, and then we're like, let's add Madee to the call.
Because you two are
Swifties.
more so
Yeah.
than I.
Yeah. I still, honestly, I would categorize you as a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're a big enough fan that you're a Swiftie.
I love her music.
But you're just, like, not as deep into the lore
correct.
as we are.
I am not chronically online.
Terminally online. We've passed chronically. I'm terminally online.
But that's why when you and Emily had FaceTimed me, I was like, are you sure I'm your girl?
Well, but I feel like even more so than just, like, you thinking that you're not big enough of a fan, which you are.
And I loved every freaking minute
But
of the
it's
tour.
also the experience of all of us together, too.
Incredible.
You know what I mean? Like, all three of us, well, and Ellis.
And
Do
Ellis.
not forget Ellis.
Ellis, we love
The
you.
four of us going together, it's all, like, part of the experience, too.
There's no one else I would go with, which is what made me be
Right.
like, shut up, Madee. You're going.
You like her music. You're not just, like, a casual fan, I wouldn't say. Like, you're
we listened
a
to her
fan.
for a lot of the way
And, like,
here
deep
today.
tracks, too. We had deep track TTPD. Deep tracks of all the albums.
Yeah.
We had Come Back, Be Here. We had Babe,
I'm a red girly.
Peter, which, as am I.
I mean,
Peter.
you did wear the outfit.
Bolter. I did. And let me say, I killed that outfit.
You got a compliment in the hotel,
I did. That outfit. It's like
which again, greatest fan base.
so much fun, right?
So
I
much
have never
fun.
felt safer
and
and just everyone's having a collective experience
a collective experience
as I
is the
have. And I've been to
perfect
a
way.
lot. We have been to a lot of concerts. We're concert girlies. We like going to concerts.
Love live music.
But
One of my favorite things to do is see
like
live music.
that was probably like the biggest collective fan experience I've ever been part of,
Yes.
and it's great.
And you are the friendship bracelet master.
Oh my god!
I like to come up with the what to put on them.
I was gonna say you contributed because it takes time to like think of shit and then sit there and sort through it. So you were coming up with the ideas and finding the beads, and I was doing
the things.
you know, stringing on and whatever. How many did we make? I think we made like 35.
I don't even
It was
know.
over 30, I know for sure.
Oh my god.
In 5 hours.
That's so funny.
I was an expert at that point though. Like I knew what I was doing.
Yes, you knew
I had a
exactly what
system,
you needed to do.
Like
Yes.
I knew how to tie them. Like we were
Yeah.
we were trained. I was a trained expert at that point. But I'm
Yes.
so glad that we all got to experience it together.
It was so much fun.
Like that was one of the more special parts of it,
Yeah.
is that we all got to experience it together.
Right.
And that was so fun.
And like looking back now, I'm like, if I would have like told you, like take someone else who is into more of the
You
lore,
would have regretted it.
I would have regretted it for the rest of my life.
Because it was great.
It was so great. And again, no one else I'd rather go with.
Yeah. Yeah. That really like makes the whole experience is who you go with.
Agreed. Yeah. So that was just last year, right?
Yeah. That was only in November.
Crazy. Oh my
That was only
god.
5 months ago.
Yeah, so that was really great. But
Oh, okay.
how did we get on that topic?
You brought it up. I don't know how you got there.
We were talking about like our favorite shows to watch,
Oh, yeah.
and then somehow we got onto Taylor.
You know what? Everything leads back to Taylor Swift. Everything.
Everything.
Last thing I want to do before we end and you're only my second guest, so I almost forgot to do this, was what, you know what the butterfly effect is?
Yes.
Okay. What is a butterfly effect moment that you've had either in your whole life, if you're able to summarize, for that, or just in recent memory that, like, what's your butterfly effect moment?
Okay, so it's like a decision I made that has had a large impact on
The rest of your life.
the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, like, kind of going back to, we talked about this at the start, how when we met, it was essentially through our now husbands.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband, John, your husband, Alec, were friends, and we got intertwined into mutual friend groups.
Right.
So before John and I had even started dating, we were just really good friends.
Right. I met you as friends.
Yes.
Like, you guys were just friends.
Yeah. And so I guess it was a really, I don't want to say like a tough decision, but it took us a while to realize, okay, I think this maybe is more than us just being friends.
Yeah.
And I struggled a lot with, I don't want to like fuck up our friend group if we start dating and then we break up and
Right.
now there's this weird tension or like awkwardness.
You just didn't want to lose Alec.
I simply could not accept losing Alec.
I was going to say me, but you didn't know me well enough yet. It was Alec.
It was Alec. So funny.
But no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I think everyone who starts dating a friend,
Yeah, when you
like,
started as friends, it's like, oh my gosh, like,
I really like them, but like, do I?
like, how do we like take that
What
next
if?
step,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you worry about the ripple effects of, okay, if this doesn't work out, like, that's all my friends,
Yeah.
And
Just start over. Fuck.
damn. And so I would say just us really making that decision as far as starting to date.
Yeah.
And obviously it has impacted my life in a huge way because
Has
we are now married.
What?
And so that's what comes to mind anyway for
Oh, that's a good one. And that's like a perfect example too, like, I mean, obviously it was a big decision for you, but it's like one singular decision that you kind of said essentially like, fuck it. I like you enough that like we should do this. And here we are. Here we are. I would like to say though, for the record, I called it. And I know I've told you this before.
Yes.
But I called that shit. And I want everybody to make note of that.
The world needs to know.
Because on Halloween that year, because you guys didn't start dating until like February. Yeah. So and on Halloween that year, you guys
The year prior.
Oh, was it the year before?
No, I don't know.
No, I think it was sophomore year.
It was sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you guys just like kissed or something, right? Mm-hmm. But I remember hearing about it because I was like new to the friend group and stuff, And
Drama. Scandal.
Alec is such a gossip.
Scandalous.
But he told me that, and I go, oh, like, I bet they start dating. And Alec was like, no, I don't think so. Like, we're all just friends. Like,
because he didn't want to lose me either.
True. True. What
king.
a good point.
My king.
What a good point. But I remember he was like, no, like, we're all just friends. I think it was just like a fun, like, party thing, whatever. Like, I don't read that much into it. I'm like, I don't know. And then I remember we came back from Christmas break, and I came over to their apartment, and Alec was like, Maddie's here.
And it's not to see me.
And then I think the four of us went and got food together. Because I think I said to Alec, I was like, well, we should go out, like, we should go get, I think we probably just went to, like, B-dubs or something, because.
Classic.
Listen. don't knock beat-ups, okay?
Listen, if there's a chicken nugget there, Bri's there.
True. But I remember I said to him, like, oh, we should all go get food. And he's like, oh, I don't know if they're, like, actually dating like that. Like, I don't know if they would...
See, and this is what I mean when I say I start thinking about all these, like, ripple effects.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to hear you say this because these are the things and I'm like, how weird for you guys.
It wasn't weird for me because I didn't know you guys that long as just friends.
Yeah.
So I was fine. And I don't think it was weird for Alec because, like, you were two of his favorite people.
Yeah, we would hang out all together anyway.
Right. So I don't think it was weird for him. And Alec's not the type of person to, like... think ahead to like, oh, if they break up, this is gonna, like
he's just going with the flow.
He's just vibing,
He
so
says,
I think he was.
That's really cool of you guys.
He was like excited about it, but I was also like, I told you so. So I remember that the start of
it all.
Everything, yeah. But I just want it to be recorded, that I called that shit.
Nailed it.
And you're welcome.
Yeah, honestly, you get it.
Mm-hmm, I do. I think we covered a lot of good ground here.
We talked about a lot of things.
We did. We talked about a lot. You did a great job. I know you were nervous.
Thank you so much.
You did great. The second ever guest.
What an honor.
On Social Butterfly.
This was fun. Thank you so much. Fun.
We were just chit-chatting.
Maybe next time, if there ever is a next time, there will be video.
Yes. We'll plan ahead a little bit better and have video to go along with this. But this time you just get to hear us yap. But thank you, Madee, for coming on. If you're I was going to say if you're listening or watching, but this time you won't be watching. So if you're listening, please make sure to follow and rate and all the things. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.